Oh my, it's Kellee White.
Hey, it's James Van Prague.
What are you up to?
Thinking about changing the world.
Me too. We should do a show together.
What would it be about?
Let me show you.
The James and Kellee Show.
Hi, Kellee.
Hi, James.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you.
Happy holidays.
Oh, what's your favorite holiday song?
Wow, that's a tough one. Off the top of my head, I couldn't answer that. Unfortunately, it might be White Christmas only because it's been programmed into my head since I was a baby. But Jingle Bells. I don't know. I saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus is kind of cute, but I love some Hanukkah songs too. So.
Oh, Dreidel, Dreidel. There's some great ones.
Dreidel, yes.
Made it out of clay.
Hanukkah, the sweet celebration. I learned that when I was in high school. I did Diary of Anne Frank, and we had to sing a song that they sang. So I remember that song from that. Oh, Hanukkah, the sweet celebration.
Right.
I was Mr. Dussel. In my high school plays, they put me the adult, the father, and I had white hair. And twice this happened, 2 years in a row. People thought they rented an actor out. It was me.
I think that's great.
So how are you doing?
I'm doing really well, getting ready for the holidays. I think they will be quite quiet, but getting ready. And you too? Kind of quiet?
Kind of quiet, very quiet. And I'm taking a week kind of off and doing nothing. And I don't want anybody around me. I just want to be quiet and peaceful. And that's all I want to do. The end of the year.
Right. Well, you just came
This
back
is
from
our last show for this year.
It's the last show and you just came back from Los Angeles, so I know that was a little jarring.
This weekend I was in Los Angeles. I took the train up, and that was very kind of strange because I've been around people for so long, and I had a meeting, and I used my speaker phone and didn't think. And 10 minutes into it, some people came up and said, "Would you mind turning that off?" And I'm like, "Oh." And I'm like, "Oh." Shows you though, didn't think because of not around that way of being anymore in 2 years. So I apologized, and they looked at me with dirty looks.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
But it's an interesting time for everybody in getting back into. Well, you get back into the swing of things, and something else happens. So you go back and you go forward, and you go back 2 steps.
Yeah.
So my brother got COVID this weekend. I found out.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to hear that.
My niece and her 3 children had it, and her husband. So and these are people that have been vaccinated. So it's just it's very strange out there right now for everybody.
It sure is a strange time. That's the truth. That's the truth, and we're going to talk about this.
So we thought we'd do a show tonight, the end of the year, and what's going on with next year, astrologically, and whatever as you're talking about it, we'll see what comes in for me. And
I'm going to talk about this, and we will talk about this from a psychic perspective, certainly. I'm going to use some numerology to describe 2022. I'm going to talk about it from a Vedic astrology lens. I'm going to use lots of different lenses. And in Vedic astrology, it's really about predictions. I'm going to use some of that. I'm also going to talk about it from a Western lens, since James and I are in the United States. We'll be talking a lot about 2022 and what goes on here. And I want to start off with something really important. And what that is that,
excuse me, Kellee, I'll be taking notes as well.
Take notes. This week that we're on sets the stage for 2022. It just sets the stage here. This week is a very important week. And I had to laugh because I had said to James a while back, well, why don't we do this show the first of the year? And you said, you said, let's do it at the end of the year. What's important about that is this is the week that events occur to set up 2022. So I thought it was really amazing. It's kind of like when you wrote in your book, In Talking to Heaven, you wrote the book in 1997.
Yeah, 96, I think it was. Yeah.
And you wrote a paragraph about 2020. And you talked about the souls, and you talked about a virus hitting 2020, an illness that hit 2020.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's interesting that you have these thoughts that come through, and
just a vessel. And then I don't remember anything. So just a vessel, like all of us are the vessels. We're just vessels of spirit, and I'm just a good listener, I think, and as you are. But and I love to learn and I love to discover, and
Right.
and I also love to share perspectives for people who want to hear that. And that's what you and I
Right.
both do. And that's what we're here tonight doing, sharing our perspectives.
Absolutely. So what I want to remind people of is that most of the people that are watching tonight are light workers. And light workers are the souls that come in to help humanity. So I want everybody to remind them that when they signed up to enter during this period of time, they were here as light workers, and light workers, our mission is to create heaven on earth. That is the mission for a light worker. You may have thought, what am I doing? What am I doing? I'll tell you, anybody who's helping humanity, that could be with music and art, it could be through love, it could be through animals, it could be through helping people pass over, it could be anything, healing. But if you have that gut feeling that you are a light worker, then pay a lot of attention here, because our mission is to make heaven on earth here. That's our mission. Now, does
So
it mean
as you're saying that, of course, as things I love when this happens.
Mhm.
Synchronistic, whatever coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. And of course, I'm writing down as you're speaking, light is illumination, right? So we have to illuminate the dark, right? And the
Yes.
first step is awareness. And then I look down at my desk and there's this card here, which I keep these cards once in a while. And it's exactly what you're saying. I'll read it to you, to everybody. You are here to enable the world to live more amply with greater vision and with a finer spirit of hope and achievement. You are here to enrich the world, by Woodrow
I-
Wilson.
I've got
That was
chills.
sitting
And
on my desk right here. So there you go.
and that was Woodrow Wilson in what
Woodrow
year?
Wilson,
Like 1940 something or something?
probably the
1920s?
40s.
40. I
Yeah,
mean, that's just amazing. That is
early
so
40s, late
true.
30s.
Oh
So
my
true.
gosh. Well, and so having said that, we all have a meaning and a purpose. This year is about the year of the soul. This is a year about making meaning in your life. Okay. So you're going to be thinking about this, making meaning in your life, because the year 2022, I'm going to start using a lens, and I'll tell you my process as I go through this. Okay. And my first thing I'm going to look at is that it's a 2022. Now, in numerology, we don't break down master numbers 11, 22, and 33. And this is a 222. Okay. So as a 22, 22 means builder. It means to destroy also and to rebuild. It's a big number. A 2022 year is huge for in numerology. It's huge. Now I can also take that and make it, if you add the numbers 222, you get 6, right? So it
Mhm.
also, some people would call it a 6. Okay. Now 6 is very important here because 6 has to do with the planet Venus. Venus has to do with women. Okay. So follow this. It has to do with balance, babies,
Really?
power for women. Because if I take that 22, that 222, and then I add that along with what I'm seeing as I understand the 6 in numerology with this, it brings power to women. And I
Right.
really feel that the year 2022 is going to be a year where women succeed in power, getting their power, gaining their power, using their power. It might be in politics, it might be as in corporations, it could be in any which way, but I really feel we're going to see women in power this
Okay,
year.
Kelly. So I'm just going to validate that by
Okay.
saying this weekend I spent time with a good friend of mine who is, I'm not going to go into who it is, but she is probably one of the most powerful women right now, just started in the global world as far as media goes. And I've known her for many, many years. And she's doing things that women never did before. And women have a way to change and influence. So it's right on what you're saying. And I think I
Wow.
agree with you. More women are going to have the power. I think more women are going to be respected
Yeah,
for who they are.
right.
I think that, we got to look up to them.
Absolutely, absolutely. I've got chills when you said that. I mean, it really is going to be this kind of a year.
I do feel,
222.
Kelly, can I just interrupt you by saying
Oh,
I
sure.
do feel there'll be quick striking stuff like fast, fast, fast,
Oh,
and it won't be
we're
fast,
gonna
and it won't
we're
be
gonna get
fast.
through that. There'll
And
be a
all over
lot
the
of
world, by
strikes.
the way, all
Yeah,
over the world, and corporations and governments are just fast and okay,
a lot of fast here. That's very
fast,
true.
lots of fast.
So, but I want to mention this too. The number 222, so 2022, 222. When people say, what does that number mean? Because, James, we get asked all the time with angel numbers and everything what it is. It means unity. it means love, and it means our relationship with God, spirit, universe, whatever you want to call it. It's your relationship with God, and it means a new beginning, or spirit, or universe. It means a new beginning. So this year is about making new meaning for yourself. And interesting enough, the aspects I'm going to talk about also happened in the year 1875. And in 1875, it was the year, which, James, you'll love this, it brought in a huge growth in spirituality because it was Madame Blavatsky
Man Blavatsky, yeah.
and is it Theos?
Theosophy
Yeah,
began. That's right, and she was really the most important point person for that to begin. And she
right.
was really frowned upon and looked down upon, but she started this movement, Theosophists, and it's
That's
still
it.
going. Theosophists still stuff part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it was all about spirituality.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
all about
Bring it to the
that.
main stage and living out your life as a spiritual person with their
Wow.
spiritual tenets. That there are reasons that there. You should
Yeah.
really look at that. So that's what it's about.
Wow, wow. So, I mean, that's the kind of year, the beginning, what we're talking about for actually for the whole year. We're going to be looking at ourselves in a spiritual way, looking at others, because remember, we're here to make heaven on earth. I keep reiterating that because as things happen, I want you to remember, I don't care whatever goes on this year, and I have some things to say about it. I want you to remember that no matter what, you're here to do your work. No matter what, you're here to do your work. This is a great year for relationships. Let's say you have been single for a long time. This is a year to be in a relationship. It's a great year for relationships. Let's say you've wanted to have a baby. This actually will help a lot of people that want to have babies because, believe it or not, a lot of these babies, a lot of these souls want to come in because they know what the plan is to bring heaven to earth. So they really want to be here. So there'll be a lot of breakthroughs in fertility, and a lot of people that maybe couldn't get pregnant will get pregnant this year. It's a really important time for that. Okay.
As you say that, I just know psychically that there are going to be inventions. There's going to be
Oh,
not only because of COVID, but something else.
yeah.
A lot of new medical breakthroughs. I feel that we
Oh,
didn't expect. And maybe
we're
some of it.
definitely gonna get there. I promise,
Yeah,
James, we're gonna get there. You're right on. You're right on
and
with
I
that.
think that I also think that I just want to make a statement that the hardest lessons are for the most advanced souls. So you've chosen a planet, a school to come back to, where it's not an easy school. It's really not an easy school
Right.
because souls here from all different levels of awareness. Those are baby
Yeah.
souls, brand new souls who maybe never
Right.
been incarnated in this type of environment before. And you have master souls or light workers, if you will, and all those in between. So it's constantly that friction, that drama. There's the play is
Right.
going on, all this is going on, and you can't tell what's happening.
Right.
And it's going to be really difficult, horrendous times. But
Mhm.
that's when you got to show up. That's
That's
when the light.
exactly.
So that's why you came here. And as
That's it.
I wrote down, Clay, when you were saying that, I said it's an opportunity for us to stand up and be one.
Oh, I love that.
An
Absolutely.
opportunity to stand up and be one. That's what just kind of
Absolutely.
came through.
And it's an opportunity for everybody, males and females and everybody, to um, start to begin, if they want to do the work they want to do it. So if you're looking for a job, believe me, this is a year for you. So this is a year for starting something new, a new beginning. No matter what goes on in the world, you'll still focus on your next step here. Okay. Just think like that. Think like that
And
because
don't
it's,
care what other people think of you, because what
oh,
other people
please.
think of you is none of your business. You're not here
Yeah.
for other people to please them. You're here to do
Yeah.
the right thing. And you're here to
Right.
love yourself and love yourself so much so that someone sees you, you walk into a space, they feel that energy of love.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. So it's about you having that relationship with yourself now. And this is that opportunity that you've been waiting for.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Interesting here. I'm just going to put a little side note here. Um, the southeast corner in your home is very important for this six with Venus. It's very important. The southeast corner in your home. So if
And
you
what is
have
that about, Kelly?
the
What,
southeast corner, you want to keep it free of clutter. So if you take a
okay.
compass, you can get an app. I have a free app on my phone, and it will tell you where the southeast area is in your home. Or if it's
Yeah.
an office, a place that you are often, you want to keep that free of clutter. And the reason is you want that energy to move freely because there's a lot of energy that moves in this year. So you want to keep that southeast corner free of clutter.
I have to clean out my garage.
Okay, there you go. And that's might be where it is. you
That's where
know,
it is, my house.
and
It's not
it,
that I could move a bicycle.
Oh, well, well, it could be that. Oh my gosh. And I want to say something really interesting too here. It's the year of the tiger in Chinese astrology. It's the year of the tiger. So
Wait, Kelly, you're
tigers,
going way too fast. Hold on. Slow
okay.
down. You have so much knowledge and wisdom to share, but I got to
So
get
much.
this out.
Okay.
So when you do that southeast corner in the home, can
Yes.
I just have people, would it work with people, if you will, write down what they want to manifest next year, whether it's having a new job, whether it's having a
Great.
baby, whether it's having a relationship, put it in a box, wrap it up like a little gift and put it away in that southeast corner. And just,
Great
we'll see when
idea.
it comes back. Yeah?
That's a great idea. Yeah.
Just popped in my head when you were saying that. So, okay, go on,
Perfect.
continue.
Perfect. Okay. It's a great idea. So we've got on top of everything that I'm going to go through in February, I think it's around the maybe around the first, I'm not sure when this kicks in, but it becomes the year of the tiger. So tigers for everybody would be to be brave. They're often unpredictable, but they are confident. So you want to remember that they are confident. So if you were born in, I'm going to give you a few years to see because you may know somebody that was born in this, or maybe you, 1938, 1950, 1962, 1974, 1986, 1998, 2010, or 2022. It would be a tiger. So just kind of a fun thing here. So, okay,
Can I
just
just
wanted
say something too also?
absolutely.
I don't I rarely will look at the chat room as a because for me it's distracting.
Hmm.
So I just want to make a note for some people that if you pay attention to what's happening here, if you're busy here chatting, with people, which is fine. You do whatever you want, but I'm just like I know that I can't do two things at once personally. So I just want everyone to get everything that you're saying. Just
Yeah, there's a lot to say here. So
it's
now
so
I'm going
much.
to start with some astrology. And we have one of the biggest aspects going on right now. And again, everything that I'm going to talk about leads into 2022 for the year of 2022. So let's start right now with the Venus retrograde. Venus retrograde began on December 18th, and it's retrograde until January 29th. So for 40 days, Venus is retrograde. Venus is the planet closest to the sun, and it only goes retrograde approximately every 18 months. So it's much more intense than a Mercury retrograde. And you know how we've talked about Mercury retrograde with electricity and appliances and contracts and communication? Well, Venus retrograde is about relationships. It's about rethinking the relationship, reassessing. And by the way, this is in loved relationships and with friends. It's with everything. It means to set boundaries. But here it gets a little more complicated, like many things coming up, because it is in conjunct to Pluto, meaning it's next to Pluto. So Pluto is the planet of hidden. It's the planet of death and transformation, and it's conjunct Venus in Capricorn. And Venus in Capricorn is very practical, it makes things practical. So, I'm going to give you an example, a television series example that will help you understand this Venus retrograde conjunct Pluto. So, and I don't think I'm going to blow this by telling this to people. Anybody watch Sex in the City out there? Okay, everybody in my generation, we've all watched Sex in the City, and most people were in love with the character of Mr. Big. Okay, now I thought it was interesting that they brought the show back called um, um, and
Just
just like
something
that, and
just like
just
that.
like that, they brought it back during Venus retrograde. Okay, the old series they brought back during Venus retrograde. Interesting. Okay, that's kind of fascinating. The first episode, the main character that everybody loved, everybody's in love with, drops dead of a heart attack riding a Peloton. Okay, that would be Pluto, death and transformation. He's gone. Boom. Okay, just like that. Boom, he's gone. And then I love that Ryan Reynolds
But
comes in.
dot dot
It's
dot.
dot dot dot. It's not over yet.
No.
And then Ryan Reynolds comes to the rescue with his company to do an ad for Peloton to help everybody understand that Mr. Big is really still alive. And it's going like this. And then Pluto, the real hidden aspect of Pluto, comes out and goes like this. Oh, really? 3 women came in to accuse him of sexual abuse in real life, in real time. And I have to say, wow, that is exact example of Venus retrograde with conjunct Pluto. Exactly what I'm talking about. Because what it means to women out there is that we're not going to see things with rose-colored glasses anymore. Okay, it's like the that's off now, and that's when you step into your power. Where you really get in trouble is with the rose-colored glasses, whether it's male or female. You
True.
get in trouble if you start believing a myth. Okay, so
It's true.
myths will be kind of blown up, and that's what happens during this Venus retrograde Pluto. Now, on Christmas, it's an exact conjunct to Pluto. So, of course, a lot of people will be together and families. So, a lot of myths will be shattered during Christmas, probably on Christmas Day, frankly.
I don't be
And
with anybody.
there you go. So, you'll be just fine.
Thank goodness.
You'll probably be just,
My
you,
doggy. That's
you,
all. That's,
that's the
I
best.
chose that. I chose that actually without knowing this. I
Isn't
chose
that
that about 2 weeks ago.
Isn't
Yeah.
that interesting? So I'm
Yeah.
going to go back into history for a couple of things here and talk briefly about 2020. January of 2020, there was a Saturn Pluto conjunction. Now I'm going to talk about Saturn. I've just mentioned what Pluto is. Pluto is the hidden, it's the death and transformation. It's intense, Pluto. Saturn is different, and Saturn is karmic, and it's the economy, and it's government, it's all kinds of things, and I will go through that a little bit more. But I want to say, because of this Saturn Pluto conjunction in January of 2020, we had COVID. We have COVID. Okay, that's how important these conjunctions are. And Saturn and Pluto are nothing to fool around with. These are major planets with major energy here. Now, if we look at January of 2021, the one we just had a year ago, January of 2021, particularly on January 6th. Now, remember what happened on January 6th. I mean, there was a storming. I mean, it was pretty radical. Okay. On that day, there was a square between Mars and Saturn and Mars and Pluto. Mars is a planet of war. That was a very intense time, very intense day, unexpected. Okay, so that's kind of set up the year also, right? So 2020 was set up with the Saturn Pluto conjunction. Then January 6th of 2021 was set up with the square between Mars and Saturn and Mars and Pluto. Okay, now we get to December 24th, and that is in what, James? That's on Thursday, I think.
That's on
When
Friday.
Friday. Okay, on Christmas Eve, we have something that's going to set up the time for 2022. Okay, and that is Saturn squaring Uranus. And Saturn, I'm going to tell you now about Saturn, and I'm going to tell you about Uranus.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
Kelly. What is
Yes.
Saturn in? It's on the 24th in
Saturn is in
Capricorn? Aquarius.
And Uranus is in Taurus.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right. That's right. Because today, sure.
it is this week leads into 2022. Now, it doesn't mean that an event would happen on the 24th. It could, but it means that there will be events that shake up the world for
It happened today.
2020.
It happened today.
Tell them what happened today in
Well,
California.
today we were shaken up in California with an earthquake. And I was doing
Yeah.
soul care this afternoon. I didn't feel it in Southern California. It was Northern California, off the coast of San Francisco. 6.4, wasn't it, Kelly?
6.2,
And
and Renee felt it, our producer. Said he got dizzy
Saturday.
while he was producing your show.
And that's right. And Uranus and Taurus is an Earth sign, right? So, and
Yes.
Uranus is movement quickly. Movement is it Uranus?
Uranus could be okay. So let's talk about that. It is so historically, when you have Saturn Uranus square like this, it's very important in history because it's about infrastructures. It overthrows of the government. It's about rebellions. It's about freedom. Actually, this happened in 1988, and that was when the Berlin Wall fell.
Wow.
So it's about restructuring and embracing a new world. And 2022 begins this process. It's been happening. So Saturn
Yeah.
rules economy, government, karma, banking situations, financial situations, responsibility, discipline. structure, rules, and regulations. Okay, that's Saturn. Uranus, on the other hand, is different. It rules earthquakes for one thing. It rules airplanes. It rules radical breakthroughs in awareness. That's what you were talking about.
Yeah.
New technologies, which is what you
Yep.
said. Electronics. Okay, it's huge in healing. Uranus is huge in healing.
I just heard there's going to be a new country formed somewhere, not here in the States, but somewhere there's going to be a new country formed. I just heard that.
Wow.
Don't ask me where, when, or how. I just heard that. Just
I,
snippet.
it makes sense with what I'm about to say.
Oh,
It's a revolutionary planet, Uranus. It hates rules, and it's always eager, if you will, to facilitate groundbreaking, dynamic change, and it can have surprising, quick effects. And I believe that we're going to expect change and somewhat revolution in the society coming up. It brings social unrest, and it brings unexpected radical change. And 2022, there'll be pockets of time when we see something happen. But the good news of this is it brings out new inventions, it brings new technologies and new ways for healing and for health. And I want to say this about 2022. It's a great time to invest in yourself for healing. It's a great time for fitness, for health, for taking care of yourself. It's a great time for that. Great year for that.
hmm.
Any comments from the audience?
Mm,
Well,
well,
you told me to be
when you were
authentic with
talking,
it.
I just got to, I'm all what you see is what you get for me. I just feel there's going to be some unrest, and I just feel there's going to be new laws that are going to be looked at for gun control, for military, and that they're going to finally have to do something with gun control in some way. That there's going to be some kind
Oh,
of something that have to happen with our firearms. I don't know, like war
yeah,
arms, military arms. Something's going to be done. That has to be done. I think this coming year, something will be done with that.
yeah.
I don't know what that means, but there's something's going to have to
Very
be done.
interesting.
But if a violent thing happens that
Mhm.
forces that, I think there also could be a nuclear strike somewhere, or they're going to try to do a nuclear strike somewhere in the world. It might not happen, but I have a feeling they're going to try to, or it's going to might fail,
Mm.
but I think it'll be an attempt.
Wow, wow. I can see that. Another thing that I want to talk about, which is now this is from a Vedic standpoint. So Vedic is about prediction as well. And in Vedic astrology, from December 16th, so you'll see I mix a lot of astrologies up, but from December 16th until April 22nd, it's called Akala Sarpa Yoga. Akala Sarpa Yoga. And what that means is fated destiny. And so I believe, and it's when all the planets are on one side of the axis. And it happens during this period from December 16th till April 22nd. And when that happens, there is there will be a lot of past life karmic events that happen. And remember, we're
I
here
think you are you
to
frozen over
grow.
Kelly.
I froze? Oh gosh. I did? Oh, I hope not. Can you hear me okay? I'm not frozen anymore. Are you there? Am I
Kelly,
okay? Yes. I mean, yes.
you are fine. It is James that is frozen
Oh,
temporarily.
it's James that's frozen.
Yeah, everybody can see you. You're fine.
Okay. I'm sorry, James. I don't mean to laugh. It's fated events. What can I say? He is frozen. People are saying, "Oh my gosh." So, I know you can hear me, James. So, during this period of time for the next 4 months, it's about fated events. It's about things that karmically that our planet will be going through, some upheavals, some change. And remember, you come in as most of everybody here are advanced souls. You come in to help the world some way, bringing light to the planet and helping the world uh, to um, to 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 bring awareness, to bring heaven on earth. That's it. Okay, so there could be things like disease, and we already know we've got COVID. We already know that. I feel, and I know that James wants to talk about this, that when I mean it's going to be part of our lives for some period of time, and We do get through it. We do get through it. I want everybody to know that we do get through this. I'm never going to change that. But I know that this brings some interesting activities during this next 4 months. Okay. And also, I want to say, I hope James comes back because I know he wants to hear this. Well, I'll have to tell him separately. Also, on February 1st, and I'm going by Vedic astrology with this, K2, one of the axes, crosses over the sun, and that can bring unexpected changes as well. Okay. But there's another big event that occurs too. I swear I'm not doom and gloom, I swear. But there's another big event that I hopefully James will be back on soon, and I know he's going to want to hear this one, but I'll just start it anyway. So we have on February 21st, 2022, and again, if I go through the period of time between January and April, there are a lot of events that occur during this period of time. And one of them is Pluto return. So you've heard James and I talk about, oh, James is trying to get back on. Okay. Well, hopefully he's going to get back on. Let's see if yeah, hopefully he's going to get back on. I don't know what happened. Let's see. Well, I'll just keep going here. So anyway, on approximately mid-February, about the 21st of February, there's a Pluto return. And if we think about it in history, Pluto return only happens 200 and I think it's 46 years. And the last time was in the year 1776, Declaration of Independence. So it takes 246 years for Pluto to return. So none of us have ever seen a Pluto return because it was so long ago. But we will be having that Pluto return. And because it's our first Pluto return ever in the United States, there will be great change in the United States. So I really believe that it's going to bring Pluto, again, that planet of hidden, that planet of secrets, that planet of death and destruction, that things that are hidden have to come to the surface. They must come to the surface here. And I believe that that's what is going to happen for this year. I think that some structures are going to be torn down. Systems are going to start all over again. And I think that things that have been repressed from people for a long time are going to come out. So it's not just playing out in public, it'll be playing out in your own life too. Things that maybe you've repressed. This will be a great year, to go into therapy if you need that too, to let go. It's a great year for forgiveness of whomever has done harm to you. It's a time to look at your life and see what you can let go of so you can go forward. It's going to be an important. Oh, James he's trying to get on the show. Okay. And by the time we get through to July and through September, there's also more monumental change. So I'm going to say, when I started talking about this from the beginning, 2022, the year of 2022, is about great, 22s are builders. They can destroy, they can build. And we come in as light workers to take care of the planet, take care of ourselves, to bring light to one another, to make heaven on earth. And things sometimes have to be destroyed to be rebuilt again. And so I feel that we're all going to need some therapy. That's right, Lorena Longo. She says we're all going to need some therapy once we're done here. That's the damn truth, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Put on your hot coffee. That's how I shifted fast. Very good. I like that. Um, yeah, it's all about change and growth. And I appreciate you people writing that. It just is. We've come into this planet so we can all grow and we can all expand our wisdom. And you want to be the best way you can to people. You want to be kind because I can tell you everybody's going to be going through things. Look who's here.
Was it just me or was everybody gone?
No, it was actually just you.
Of course it was. Of course it was. Sure. Yes.
I was just talking about the Pluto return that's coming up too. There's a Pluto return in February 21st. And it's the first time, James, in 246 years. The last time was 1776. So none of us have ever experienced a Pluto return. And Pluto return,
Pluto return.
Pluto return, that will be on February 21st, 2022. And that is going to bring, I will say, monumental change, because it brings out all the hidden things, and it brings out change, complete change,
Well, that works for me.
right? um, it says
What,
Gigi.
what, what, what's going on with the electrical? Because last night I put brand new lights on my driveway, and all of a sudden the fuse went out right away.
See,
And then today something else happened, and there's another thing, and then
well,
this.
I'll tell you, Uranus, we are probably already
Is
starting to
that it?
feel that square. I mean, listen, there was already an
Sure.
earthquake there that Uranus brings, has to do with electricity. Sure. That, I think you're already starting to feel it. Yeah,
Sure.
sure.
Put on
Sorry
your
about all.
seatbelts and enjoy the ride.
Enjoy the
Well, like I
ride.
said, we've come back for it. We've come back for it, and
Right.
it's not just happening spontaneous. It's just, it is what it is. It's how we deal with it. It really is how
It's
we
how
deal with
you
it. That's the
deal with
lesson
it.
here. It's
Right.
what's the lesson? It's not a punishment. And no one should think
No.
any of this is a punishment. It isn't. There should be no judgment. It is what it is, and that's all it is. And this isn't our reality. This is just a temporary time here in the school.
And it's how you view things, and how you move, and how you grow, and how you continue to do the work that you've come to do. I mean, things are going to expand and change, and there'll be a lot of sudden things, sudden shifts.
The only constant we have is change, isn't it, Kelly? I mean, that's
Right.
really, everything is about movement and change. And every day we have cells that die and cells that are born, and
Right.
people die and people that are born. There's never a stand still. It's things are always moving, and that's what life is about, is movement, really.
Exactly. And you've never ever walked away from change. I mean, that doesn't seem to bother you. You're the king of change.
Hello, do you know where I live right now? Do you know
Right.
around me? And yes, I don't know.
Right. Right.
I've always lived. I don't know. People said, "Yeah, well, you have a lot of courage for what you went through when you first started your mediumship," and the skeptics and all that. And I never thought of that, but I never thought of it that way. I always saw a bigger picture. I guess
You
I didn't
must
think
have.
of it.
You just did it, which always is so astounding to me that you were really the first one out there doing that. I was just blown
But I
away
don't
by
have any.
that.
I don't think, Kelly. I don't think I had any choice either. And I think I came back for it, no doubt about it. And it was very, very hard when I first moved to Los Angeles. I was promised a job on a TV show, and
Yeah.
I was promised a job when I was in San Francisco State when I graduated from a producer of Hill Street Blues. And I had my broadcasting degree, and he said, "Yeah, you can be a PA in our show. Come back by July 7th to LA, and I'll get you a job." I said, "Great." Went back from New York, got my $3,000 used car, and drove cross country. Got here by July 7th. My mother had a stroke, by the way, at that time, and I had to make a choice whether to stay with her or to move on. It was a bad stroke, and I knew she wanted me to follow my dream, so I did. I got to Los Angeles, and the studio at the time said that producer was wrong. That was the wrong information. We don't hire people that way. And I didn't know his number. I didn't know a soul in Los Angeles. I
Wow.
literally was stuck in that city without knowing anyone or anything. But I knew I had to be there. Didn't know why. But that's that listening to your gut. I could have easily turned around and come back to New York, but I know within my being that I had to do this. And we all have that. We have that inner guidance system, our intuition. The
Absolutely.
more we listen to it, the stronger we'll become.
And
That's
I
our
think
God.
it's going to get stronger this year, actually.
I agree. I agree with you. It's so funny. Before I broke with technical difficulties, I kept on getting a hit that there'll be more spirituality, more signs of spirituality in ways
Yeah.
we've never seen before,
Right.
more manifestation, and much more acceptance.
Oh, I love that. Much more
Oh,
acceptance. I think so.
I also got very strong. There's going to be more. A belief of other life forms, aliens, other life forms. They're finally going to admit UFOs. The government's finally going to come around to that. There's going to
That
be
wouldn't
more of a
surprise me with this Uranus square, because Uranus is about the stars. That would make sense.
wow.
I could
Wow,
see
yeah,
that.
no, that's what I just heard. I just heard that. I mean, there's so much out there, and there's so much more than us humans. I mean, goodness
Oh,
gracious, right? It's just
oh,
amazing.
please. But and in Cat Feathers, I have to give her comment. She says, change on a personal level, yes, and change in the collective, yes. She said, I've already experienced that, but it's true. There will be change on a personal level, and it's certainly on the collective unconscious that starts to come out. Yeah, it's a powerful time that we're in. Buckle up, yes.
Buckle
Now,
up and make your life count.
make
Just don't go
make
through
every
these
day
days.
have meaning to it.
Yeah, even if it's a struggle, even if there are hard things going on in the world, send light, send love to people that's having a problem, hard time, or
Right.
countries, or just send out loving energy. You're here. You're a ministry of angels. Everybody here on this
Right.
page. You wouldn't have
Right.
been on this page if you weren't a ministry of angels.
It's so true. And I
All
have to
right.
read this. Lily Lotus says, I've been trying to finally leave my career after 25 years, and I got fired on Friday.
Congratulations.
There-
Happened to me 3 times.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
I think everybody has gone through that.
It's an opportunity.
It's an opportunity. Everything
It's
is
an
going to be looked
opportunity.
at as an opportunity.
It's an opportunity. We might not understand why it happens at that particular moment or in that certain scenario, but we just got to realize that the universe conspires for our highest good. And as
Right.
humans, we forget that because it looks a little
Right.
weird or it doesn't look normal to us, whatever that
Yeah.
is. But believe me, there's a man behind that curtain who's looking after you.
Oh my God, completely. And this is not to scare people. It has nothing to do with that. I always like to say, to get messages, I like to pay attention to signs that I see so I can help guide everybody like you, James. And we want to
But
just
be
help
more
guide
mindful,
everybody.
being aware,
Yeah, being
and everybody
aware.
that's watching this, spread the word. This is recorded. Send it to friends of yours, and also more intuition. Go to my school, take some courses, 25% off everything right now. So
And
you
let's
should.
talk about the transformation class might be really phenomenal for people right now.
28-day
Hmm.
transformation course is one the spirit gave me a channel through it, brought through, and it's a very important course. That's been 2 years now, and many people that have taken it that I've met in person have said that's changed their lives because it gets right to the heart of the matter, and it's a progressive course, which means that it's every day you take the course for like 15, 20 minutes or half an hour it is, and it builds from the day before, so you're building that energy space, and it really does transform your life. It changes your sense of who you are, yourself in the world around you, your values, the patterns that you break patterns, you look at yourself from a soul point of view. So many great things there. So check that out. It's a good one. Yeah, it's very good.
Right. I have to read this. Joan Crutcher says, no offense, but what will happen in 2022? Okay. I think a lot of government changes. I do think a lot of
I think there'll
government
be
changes.
wars. I think there will be wars.
Yeah.
I think we'll be entering a war in 2022. I do. I think there'll be two wars the U.S. enters.
Mm,
I think there's going to be some unrest again, more civil unrest.
more civil unrest for sure. But I
Yeah.
also see that there's going to be new technologies that come in. I mean, it's
New
going to be,
inventions.
again, breaking things down and then building up the new.
I also just heard there's going to be a new way of thinking. Isn't that interesting? A new way of thinking.
Okay, I like that.
That
I
it
like
brings
that.
the far right, far left, whatever that might be, that brings them
Hmm.
closer. There's commonalities. And there's a new way of thinking, but both learning from both
Oh,
sides there and coming to a common ground. And I just heard there's a new way of thinking. That's
I love
interesting.
that. I love that. And it's a rebirth. That's what this year's about. It's a rebirth. And so, birthing can be a painful process.
And Kelly, I think that when people here that are watching this and listening to this now, and they say, "Well, what's really going to happen?" You're missing the point,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
So
Right.
really, what the point is, you have to go to in yourself and look into yourself and your own soul. Now, are you ready for these major changes that are going to happen on this earth? And what are you going to
Yeah.
do about that? How are you going to position yourself? What's going to be your
Right.
perspective? What are going to be your values? Are you going to be in fear? Are you going to be in love? What are you going to learn from it? And this is an incredible, as I said earlier, an opportunity for us to
Yes.
stand up. And if we have this, if we're prepared for change, then we're great. I mean, I'm prepared for fires in my neighborhood. I have a box ready to go in my
Right.
car because you have to. You never know what's going to happen.
Right.
It's smart to be prepared for things.
Right.
So
Absolutely. And that's what this is about.
that's
It's
what this
just
is. That's what I
that's
think.
really what this is about. I mean, live your best life.
Yeah.
A lot of people will be, dealing with think traumas in their past too. It's a big time for letting go of old things that would hold you back from living your best life.
And Kelly, as you said earlier with that Pluto change, I just got another hit here
Mm.
that wow, a lot of people are going to experience people in their lives, in their families, in their lives, who they never thought would do this or that. New things are going to come out. The dark shadows, the
Yes.
dark sides of them are going to be revealed. The shadow
Mhm.
sides are going to come right out to the light. So be prepared for that because they're going to be people that you never thought this was going to that person or this. You're going to see that. I just heard a lot of people going to come from the shadow sides.
Oh,
Again, shadow sides will be revealed, is how they put it.
oh,
Shadow sides will be revealed.
It's interesting because Pluto is the shadow. So yes,
Oh, I didn't know.
Pluto is the shadow. So a lot of things will come up. And again, we've got that Christmas on Christmas. It'd be real interesting.
And Christmas is again rebirth. It's light.
Well,
It's
this Christmas, it's exactly conjunct with Venus, Pluto. So on Christmas Day, the exact conjunct, meaning that it's right next to it, meaning that families' hidden secrets could come out during that period of time.
sure.
You know,
And not to mention that, because I just experienced this in Los Angeles, all the stress that people have gone through for 2 years being in
yeah.
their houses, and
Oh,
it's all going to come out, and it might be the first Christmas they've been together, so
yeah.
things will come out because a lot of people's stress will be misplaced, if you will, or
Right.
displaced. So
Right.
that
Right.
you got to be careful, be aware, and be mindful when that happens.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, all of us
Oh,
again
I
that
love
are
that, Kim Swan. Thank you, Kim Swan. Help everyone you see by being kind to all mankind. Very true. All humankind.
perfect.
Yes, very, very true.
Absolutely. Which is, again, if you're a light worker, what you've come to do. Be
I
kind
love
to
that.
mankind.
It's great.
Absolutely. Good news about other beings. Humans need all the help they can get. It's true. Humans
I
do it.
went the other day, and I'd say I talked about this for many, many years. And I'm going to push it tonight. Is do something good every day. Change someone's energy. Change someone's life in a positive way.
Yeah.
Because when we pass over in this life review, you look about all the things in your life that affected other people, from the large, large, large things to the very small, smallest. My friend Olivia told me that and passed over. And she said, "These people came to greet me. I had no idea who they were, and then they reminded me, oh my goodness, I opened the door for this person and smiled when I was 22 years old." And it's like, so you want to do every day something
Yeah.
positive to change someone's energy. If they're in a bad mood, make it positive somehow. Yes, this weekend when I was up in Los Angeles, Pasadena, I was Friday there, and I had to go pee. So in a long journey, and this guy said, "Well, that's restaurant over there." I said, "Okay." So this restaurant, and there was an outside area, and there was a door, and this man was sitting in a chair right at the doorway. I said, "Excuse me, may I get by?" And he says, "Okay." And I go in, and then I come back out, and he's now more in the doorway. And I come out and I said, "Excuse me," knock on the glass, "Excuse me." And he goes, "Okay." And he goes, there is another door. And I said, "You're lucky I found this one." So I lightened it up.
Right.
So that's not good. I said, and we all got to take care of one another. So try to
Right.
do the best you can with people, and help them, and help in positive ways, and fun ways, and numerous ways. You can get
Oh,
the
I
message.
love that. Yeah. And also, this is a year to be creative with your soul. Let your soul have some creativity fun, whether if it's music, if you're a musician, write music. If you're an actor, act. If you're a writer, write. I mean, it's really a year to explore art, and creativity is big, and that helps our soul. And that also makes us feel like we're doing something towards humanity too.
Oh, I love what Richard says. Sonaros Cervantes. As a medium, there has been extreme opportunities to serve more. Love that.
Right.
Love that, Richard. That's beautiful. As a medium, there has been extreme opportunity to serve more. And
Boy.
whether you're a medium or not a medium, we have to serve each other. We're
Yeah.
here to serve one another. We're here to serve
Right.
the humans, right? And
Right.
to open
Right.
people up to, and you don't have to force people to believe a certain way. You
Right.
don't. You just spread some seeds out. That's all.
Yeah.
Seeds of kindness or compassion. They will take root. Trust me, they'll take root.
Right, right.
You
And
know?
again, in life, just think, I mean, just to be born, you had to have a lot of courage to be born, to come here, you had to have a lot of courage, right? Like,
When my friend Violet, who passed away, and I lived in Laguna Beach for 17 years, and she was my neighbor down the street, about 20 years older than me, or maybe 30. I used to have tea with her every afternoon, and she had a very strong voice like that. And she, "Oh, James, what's going on with this planet, and where people?" She was a Sagittarius, Pisces, and Sagittarius moon, like I have.
oof,
And we would just sit, and she was wonderful. And then one day, I saw her walk down her steps, and she had a death mask on, which is this is the second time I've ever seen that, where you see the death, a gray mask. And I was with
yes.
Jordy. And with Jordy and I walked back to the house. Jordy goes, "Did you see what I saw on her face?" I said, "Yes." And she died about 3 months later, Violet.
Oh my
So then Violet
gosh.
came through to me, and Violet said to me, in the bathroom, by the way, I was washing my hands, and she said, "Oh, James," with that voice, "why don't human beings understand how incredible it is they've taken this opportunity to come here? It's so hard to come down here, and they don't realize it. They should pat themselves on the shoulders." That's exactly what she said. They should pat
Wow.
themselves on the shoulders for taking this opportunity.
Right.
So don't take it for granted, but use it.
Right, right. I mean, I love that she said that to you because it's so
Yeah, and
validating. It does
that
take
whiny voice of hers is fabulous. It was so her. She's
wow.
at the end of my unfinished business. Her picture is at the end of the book. I dedicated it
Oh,
to her.
oh
Yeah,
my gosh. Oh wow.
yeah.
I mean, it
But
just
that says a
takes
lot.
it says a lot. You have to take a lot of courage to be here on earth. And so it's nothing, this is nothing to get anybody upset about. It's just about getting your priorities set. This is a year you'll get your priorities set. Do things for others, do things for yourself. Set your path of what you want to do. Yes, humans can be
Here's
mean.
Tracy. Tracy Hilder says, "Stay conscious and present. Can't stress about past or future. Stay in the moment." Very true, Tracy. That's exactly right. The
Right.
past has already happened. The future is yet to be. So all we have is this moment right now. And the
Yeah,
power of now by Eckhart Tolle talks about that very much. So
he sure
yeah,
does. That's so true.
living in the now.
Um, Katie Tressie says, I keep reminding myself that this is what I chose. That's right.
Right? It's as Kellee
That's
says to
right.
me every day. It's an e-ride ticket for
It's an
those that have been.
e-ride ticket. If you remember Disneyland back in the day, we wanted to be
It's hard
here.
though. It's hard for me. It's hard for Kellee. It's hard for all of us.
Oh,
It's also hard because this dense vibration is
yeah,
we're not this is not our natural environment. It's not our natural atmosphere, especially if you're a light worker where
yeah,
you're used to leaving the body or being aware in a higher level of consciousness. It's more difficult, I think. Don't you
yeah.
think, Kellee? It's
Oh, absolutely.
we got to ground ourselves even more.
I mean,
It's like, whoa.
you and I have a lightness of being even when we're talking about this. I mean, and you
True.
have to have that a good sense of humor. You have to be able to know that you are making a difference in the world. You have to know that you chose to be here. You have to make good
We can't take
choices.
it all so seriously because we're all going to die.
Right, right,
We're all going to
right.
drop dead. This is
Remind.
just temporary, folks.
Oh, I love this. Renee Hounsel says maybe remembering of our soul contracts, so our connections shift the energy in Earth School. Yes, Renee, I couldn't have said it better myself.
28-day transformation, part of it.
Oh,
It's in the
absolutely.
course. It's in the course.
Absolutely. I Melissa says it's straight up exhausting. Not really. Not really. It can be, I suppose.
You know what? It does get exhausting. I get exhausted sometimes, but then I do something completely different. Like I'll cook chocolate chip cookies, or I'll go out and play music outside and start dancing like a fool. And
Right,
I have to raise that vibration in some way. It gets so crazy that
right.
sometimes I get crazier. I was in LA and some lady came up to me and started like, "Well, I want to come to you," like not in the right head. And I just turned and said, "You get away from me now."
That's always very
And
good.
no one knew that was even
Oh my
happening.
God. So
Scary. No one
Laura,
even heard it.
oh, that's so funny. Laura Essex said, we took on this mission because we wanted to help heal the world and bring others back the one. Absolutely.
True, Laura. Good to see you. It's very true, Laura. Very, very true. The
Hmm.
one omnipresent, nurturing energy. The one.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
that's
is
what love
very
is. Love
true.
is one. Yeah.
Oh, and I love this. Cat Feather says, I started dancing with my playlist and it was a huge vibe raiser. Good. I mean,
Yeah.
music really does heal the soul and it lifts our vibration up. And then by the time it's our time to exit, whenever that time is, you want to be able to say, I did everything that I could, and how exciting it was to be there in 2022. And it was a hell of a ride. And that's what you want to say.
And
That's
you
what
want to
you
realize that you've
note.
influenced a lot of people in a positive way. You've changed people's
Yes.
lives with the rippling effect of having
Yeah.
positive thoughts and spreading those seeds of kindness and compassion. That's what it's about. It's the
Yeah.
little things, not the grand things, those
Right.
little things again.
I love this. Joe Max says, angel work can be exhausting. True that. Yet so rewarding.
Oil those wings, baby. Oil those wings.
So true. I think we get wings when we leave here, James. I think we get our
I
wings.
think we have wings here, but they get unfolded when we leave, I think.
Oh my God.
So I'm going to be writing a new opening for our show.
Oh, I can't wait.
We
I
have a new
cannot wait.
opening, and it's going to be very interesting, very excited. And it's going to be based on an episode or an experience that Kellee and I actually went through
Many
getting
of
to a
them,
radio
actually.
show. And not going to say anything else, but it was one of the funnest experiences you and I have had many since. But whenever you and I travel together,
Yeah.
it's always experiences. That's all I
Oh,
can say.
we are. We
It'll be
always
a
have a
great
good
show.
time. I can't
I'm
wait till we
ready.
can do this again. We
I
can
know.
travel again, which we will be. I mean, we will. Okay. Dana McDonald says, what else about COVID? How do we help with that? It's a good question. I feel it's still going to go on. We're going to get, how do you say this?
Oh,
We're going
my brother got COVID this
your
weekend.
brother
My
just has
daughter
COVID.
got, my grandnieces and nephew received it, and it's getting bad. And that's the people that have been vaccinated. So it's getting into it's that herd mentality, which is a good thing. I think we just got to be very conscious and mindful and aware. I mean, I've chosen to be by myself for the holidays, just to be by myself for many reasons, but just be mindful,
Just be very mindful. Yeah.
I think it's going to get better. Now, I say that because I did a reading for a gentleman the other day in May. I'm just going to share with everybody. May, they showed me that him and his partner used to travel around the world in cruises, and the spirit showed me a picture of a globe and a cruise ship going around. And it was May, so it looks like May might be lightening up. So we'll
sure.
see. Let's hope.
We've been
I
saying
have a
April.
feeling something's going to happen. I do positive with that.
But something's for the positive, because again, Uranus brings in healing too, brings in new ways of healing. So some things will happen here with healing.
Let's get our thoughts around that. It's being healed. It's going to go away, and we're going to be done with that. Let's just put ourselves in that space.
So Renee says, and Hansel says, is there a mantra for the new year? Yeah, there is definitely a mantra for the new year. And I think it has to do with bringing heaven on earth and knowing who you are. And you are a soul having an experience here, a human experience, and you're going to do the best you can. So how do we make a mantra out of that, James?
Bring heaven to earth in your soul.
Okay.
Bring heaven to your soul.
Bring heaven to your soul. Perfect. Wow. Yeah, I think that's great.
I think everybody should write out a mantra for themselves and let your soul write it for you. Don't think of it. Don't use your head. Use your heart. And you want to do it tonight or tomorrow. Keep yourself at 5-10 minutes. Just get in touch with your breath, the breathing, and let your soul write a mantra, personal mantra for you. Just write down, almost like automatic writing. You're going to sit there and just write. And it doesn't have to be long. One sentence, few words, but that's what I think the best thing is to do.
Oh, I love it.
I know. I love that. Thank you. That was a good one.
That was a good one. Wow. Well, and I hope everybody has happy holidays. Stay safe.
Holidays, everybody. Kellee,
stay safe, everybody. You too.
Stay safe, everybody, please, and take care of yourself and one another, please, and spread the love.
Yeah. Spread the love, and we will see everybody next year. We come back on the first week in January. We will be back. So everybody get some good rest, everybody.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Renee. Happy
Bye.
holidays. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to Both Sides Now and Beyond, featuring spiritual medium and master teacher James Van Praagh and spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.
The James and Kellee Show.